Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to another of my post-season waffles, and this time around I'm focusing on McLaren. What a year it's been. I mean, in general, but certainly for McLaren. The progress they have made over the last few seasons has been really impressive, and so to end up making the top 3 in 2020 is one hell of an achievement. And you know, as I sort of said in the Racing Point video, I'd say even more impressive given it's possibly an inferior car. Now, I'm not saying that McLaren is 10th fastest or anything like that, but I do believe the Racing Point is quicker and there isn't an awful lot between McLaren and Renault in terms of raw pace. What's been key this year though is consistency. As a team, they have scored all but one race in 2020, and it was pretty rare that one of the drivers didn't make the top 6 as well, and whilst the qualifying pace wasn't exactly bad, they often made up a lot of ground in the races this year, so I feel like if they can get it right on a Saturday next year, they could be serious top 3 challengers again. We mustn't forget the fact that we've seen them on the podium twice in 2020, that's the team's most podium finishes in a season since 2014, and actually the first time they've had a driver on the podium at 2 separate events since 2012. Just an excellent year all round, and it's so nice to look at the standings and see McLaren in the top 3, and just a step closer to being where they belong. Next year, of course, is a switch to Mercedes power for them, and they've got Daniel Ricciardo joining them, so a couple of pretty substantial changes on the horizon. And you know, both of their drivers have been so good this year too, and there has once again been nothing between them. Carlos Sainz's average qualifying comes in at 8.29, with Lando Norris at 8.23, and the battle itself was 9-8 in favour of Lando. The average gap between them was also next to nothing at 0.03 seconds, and overall, Norris outraced Carlos as well 9-8, although that does change to 7-6 the other way if you just look at the races they both finished. But where it matters, the Spaniard outscored the Brit 105 points to 97 points. But like I say, nothing between them. It's been such an enjoyable battle to watch in a midfield that was already close and exciting. Sainz has spent more or less the entire season doing, frankly, what I've come to expect from him over the last few years and nailing that consistency needed if you're going to be involved in a best of the rest fight. But on top of that, he has also had a few races where he started out of position and still managed to pull off some really strong results. For example, starting 15th in Turkey and Bahrain, but finishing the race in 5th at both of them. He also drove exceptionally well at Monza and was on for a podium even before it all kicked off with penalties and red flags and the like. He was legitimately there on raw pace and in the end was just 4 tenths off the victory. I feel like he's sort of flown under the radar a little bit though when we talk about who could be a contender for driver of the season, and I don't think he's getting the praise he deserves for this year. And I'm not saying, by the way, he would win driver of the season. I do think others have done better, but he has had a very strong season. It was a great way to sign off before heading to Ferrari next year, and that is going to be fascinating to watch, by the way. I've also been massively impressed with Lando Norris for the 2nd year in a row, actually. It's that word again, consistent, but he has been as well, scoring at 13 of the 16 races he finished, and even grabbing that fantastic podium in Austria. It may well have been back in July, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. I'm sure I'm not alone, but I was on my feet watching that gap come down. And to grab that 3rd place by setting the fastest lap on the final lap as well, wow. Such tension, and really an early warning to all of us that 2020 was going to be a dramatic and exciting season. To be that close as well to his more experienced teammate, don't forget Sainz's debut back in 2015, is something he can really be proud of this year. He's done a great job at building on that solid foundation he put in place in his debut year. Of course, he's a long way off being the finished article, but his speed, his aggression, his ability is not in doubt. I mean, frankly, his speed for me was never in doubt, but he does have bags of potential. Look, I don't want anyone to think I'm selling either driver short because I'm not. I'm just not really sure what else to say other than just repeating the words like consistent and what a fantastic season they've had. They've both impressed me massively, and I suppose I could add, they've also worked so well together on and off track, not just this year but last year. And when things are tight in these fights, having 2 teammates who get along is always going to help, so massive well done to both of them. I do need to quickly add at this point that it was great to round off the season seeing the news that McLaren had managed to bring in some new investment to help secure the team's future. Things really are on the up now for the Woking team, both on and off track. Whilst I've had my doubts over the last few years, as I'm sure many have, I do get the feeling we could see McLaren battling right at the front again sometime soon. Next year will be interesting, as I said earlier, with the switch to Mercedes power, but 2022 could be the opportunity the team needs to propel itself further up the grid. But overall, a great season from McLaren. That is it for this one though, but you can let me know your thoughts on McLaren's season down in the comments section, and also how would you rate their year on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, I will be back soon with some more ramblings about the 2020 season, but in the meantime, don't forget that you can of course follow me over on social media, and all of the links you need for that are in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.